and
Right.
and Poppy, and we're gonna talk about, of course, Paris and Hope.
I'm curious to see what they're going to say about this. I've been looking forward to this because yeah, I can't take them seriously to say nothing.
Okay. Anybody start coming in yet? Can you tell? It'll probably
I'm
start.
waiting for it to show on my
Uh-oh. Your signal, I think.
YouTube. A lot of your videos pre-populate, and then sometimes they'll take the videos away.
Oh, there you go. Hey,
Okay,
Myra.
there we go.
Melissa.
Hi, Myra.
Melissa. Yeah, I
they're
can see
coming
the
in.
chat. I just can't see like the numbers or whatever.
About 15 people so far.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. They all came in at the same time.
Uh-huh. Hey, guys.
Hey, y'all.
Look at
Yes.
Johnny Bravo.
Oh, Lord.
We cannot deny that he has the same shaped head as Johnny Bravo, and the hair doesn't help him.
You know what? I wonder, do they put like mousse and spray in Michael Miller's hair to hold that?
It wouldn't surprise me because he actually has had pictures on his Instagram where he has like a low, short haircut, and he looked really good. He looked great. Mm-hmm. I have no idea what they decided to do with his hair now, but
well, you think you think Tuesday and Wednesday was bad with Kyle. Tomorrow is, oh my God.
He way over his still.
I mean, okay, you know what? Let me let everybody get, because we got to talk about him anyway. Mm-hmm. How many people you got in here? Is it over 20?
Over 20 people.
Okay, good. Let's go. All right. Hey, you guys. We're doing the midweek chat. I got my girl Bree on the line. Welcome to Soap Corner Talk. For those that are not familiar with the midweek chat, we usually talk about some of the highlights from the last few days, Monday through Wednesday. And then, of course, when we go live on Friday, we, hit the whole week. We recap both shows, and then we have a few segments and things like that. So, yes, Cheryl, happy Wednesday, everybody. Somebody said, hey, Bree.
Hola. And I see Wendy. Hi, Wendy. It's a new name I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new people been popping up in the chat week by week.
I know. I'm excited. That is too cool.
Thank you, guys.
And also, I want to thank you guys for all of the compliments. I see it in the comment section from myself, for Bree, for Keish, for Trish, and even Jay. Thank you guys so much. We have a good time. I want to make sure I get you guys some fun content to enjoy. And so I'm glad you really appreciate it. Somebody put in the comment section, I think it was a new person that came in, and they was like, wow, I really like, the videos. And one of the current viewers was saying, oh, you'll love it here. Everybody's so nice and respectful. And yeah. So I really appreciate that.
I love that. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it can get kind of dicey. I've seen it on the Facebook groups. You got folks arguing and throwing shade and stuff. We have fun over here.
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. And we pick at the characters, not the actors, the characters. Mm-hmm. And we rag on certain storylines, but we love to have fun. We love to laugh. Yep. And laugh with you guys.
And Wendy C said that she is new. Welcome, Wendy. You'll enjoy it here. We have a lot of fun. We do live chats Wednesday and Friday. And then I have all of the standalone videos, the spoilers, the recaps, all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
Enjoy. Delmonica said, that's why I'm here. Yeah, listen, even in our Facebook group that we don't have a whole lot of chaos over there. We have conversations. Everybody's posting stuff about the soaps. Delmonica and Dewan are pretty heavy in the Facebook groups as well, along with Jenna. So yeah, we have a good time over there too. So
Yes.
all right, let's go ahead and get this midweek chat started. So first up, from the past few days, it's the craziness with Kyle, Diane, and Jack. Now, Bree. Okay, I know you gonna have your piece to say. What do you think? Do you think that Kyle actually had, out of all that anger, is there some legitimacy in some of the stuff that he said?
I think he's had a lot of pent up anger for his mother, and I think he used this firing as a scapegoat for that. But my issue with Kyle is his mother has tried to hand him that position. She's tried. She's said, "Hey, you are more qualified. You are able to do this. I don't want to create any tension." He says, "No, no." He wants his daddy to hand him that position. And the issue I have with Kyle is the same thing I had with Billy, too, when he was over at DeVoe. He always has one foot out. As much as he cries about this is his family legacy, and they ignored him, like, come on, sir. You have never been really fully for your family. It's only for yourself. That's why his head is so big.
You put that in the group chat, too, didn't you?
Yes, it is a very large head that he's growing. And he's full of air. I'm like, he knows what it's like to work for Victor, first of all. I mean, hell, even Victor said, "Yo, you need to go work with your family." He had no problem firing Kyle. So I don't understand why he feels that he has complete leeway working over at Victor in comparison to working over at Jabot. Because he didn't like that his mom called him out in regards to him stepping over her, which is legitimate.
Did you see what Melissa Spencer said?
Is T and Bree helmets frozen over? Audra went to bed alone. Even though Nate wanted her, God must be laughing his butt off. Right? I was expecting some sort of love scene. I was gearing up for it. I'm like, I guess I'm going to watch this. But the fact that she closed her legs and said no, I mean, that's not necessarily growth. I mean, it's only one day, but it's definitely something. She said no to a man. That is a miracle.
Hey, Jenna. Yep.
But I really thought they were going to have a love scene. The way they were flirting back and forth and everything, but her saying no
and the way they put it in the spoilers too.
Yeah, I'm like, the fact that she said no, and to Nate, as hard as she had tried to get this man at first, I'm like, okay, girl, you're. I mean, it's only one day. We'll see what the next day is going to show.
Right. Were you pretty much done with what you were going to say about Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's my thought on this. And Amaya kind of alluded to this as well because of how the level of respect with what he was saying, I guess how he delivered it. But there was a lot of legitimacy in what he was saying once you comb back the disrespect of his parents. I mean, was she qualified for that job? Nope. And
that's
Jack,
not her fault.
And Jack gave it to her. He handed it to her. And she should have stepped. See, here's the thing, because I know that she claimed, "Oh, I was going to give you the job. Well, an opportunity happens tomorrow, and she's still feeling some kind of way at Jack for thinking about possibly giving Kyle the job. Kyle gave them an ultimatum tomorrow.
Oh, I really need to see this.
Spoiler alert, that ultimatum is like, you know what? I'll stay at your bow. Fire mom.
Ooh, that was so petty of him.
I mean, she said that she would step down. And so he said, okay, put your money where your mouth is. And Jack didn't do it. And then the fact that he thought about it a little bit, Diane was offended by it. So, ma'am, did you really want to step down and give it to your son?
I think it goes back to that conversation they had, I think, early this week, where her reputation is drug under the mud because of the fact that nobody trusts her. They had to go through Kyle, or he.
Well,
I don't
exactly.
know how that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, had to go through Kyle because they couldn't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she would feel a little bit. I would feel offended, and I won't be able to really prove myself as a businesswoman. But like, it would show like she was never qualified by getting fired,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very unnerving because Jack could have helped alleviate all of this. He should have been at that office and be able to mediate all of what was going on between his wife and his son. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was nowhere to be found except for under Nikki, this is the result of it. Mm-hmm. His son is going to end up working for Victor, and this put his wife in a precarious position because no one in the business world, I guess, trusts her to do a job, which she wasn't qualified for. I understand that. But he put her in that position to try to prove herself. Her getting fired would just make matters worse for her in that realm.
Yeah, because one of the things Kyle said tomorrow is the fact that right now Jabot is looking weak with her at the helm with him. And Kyle was saying how, let me take that position that she have, and that'll put us back on track, and that the our customers, or the business world, would see us as more stronger because of the knowledge that they both have, Kyle and Jack, because they have been running. He ran Marchetti with Summer for a while until that whole thing happened, which he was pissed off about that. And then he came over to Jabot and ran it for a while, and then of course she got promoted as part of being Jack's wife. So, I honestly, this was mishandled from the beginning. Jack had no business putting his wife in that position. She should have. She was good. She was probably best staying where she was as CTO. She stayed over in the HR department. That's the talent officer. And Kyle was doing the other thing as COO. Only when this situation went the other way, now everything has just been imploding. And the other thing is Jack has been MIA for the last 7 months because he was running behind Nikki.
Yes, exactly. This is Jack's fault.
This is Jack's fault.
He awarded the positions. He's allowed a lot of things to slide, especially where Kyle's concerned, because Kyle was even trying to work with Tucker to try to take down Jabot. Kyle has no loyalties, but wants all the privileges. How dare he?
I thought he fooled Tucker. He originally started out that way, but then he switched midstream and decided to fool Tucker.
Yeah, and then I think Jack had promised him that position, and then he changed his mind because he felt that his son wasn't ready, which, to be honest, I couldn't trust somebody to run my company who always has his head sticking out or his foot sticking out looking for another opportunity. And he wants this to be, if this is his family legacy, then he should be for the family, regardless of the position. He could have helped his mom. I don't understand why.
That's what he was trying to do. And she didn't want it. She thought she could do this all on her own.
Helping would have notified her about what was going on behind the scenes. That could have been a conference call to include her in. He did all this behind her back.
But the thing is that the clients were saying that they didn't want to deal with her. They wanted to deal with him. So, and when it comes to your customers, your clientele, you got to provide the service. It's not like, well, you got to include my mom. No, we want to work with you or else, because they're bringing the money into the company. So how do you do that? And that's where Jack, instead of
Right.
telling the two of them, oh, you two will figure it out. No, you got to get in the trenches with your COO and your co-CEO and say, hey, you deal with the clients. Diane, you deal with this part of it. Give her the parts of the co-CEO position that she can handle. If obviously the clients don't want to talk to her, then they need to either talk to Jack or Kyle.
I agree. Jack should have been the main one. The business people should have contacted. They should not have to go underneath Diane when they could have went straight to Jack. Jack should have reassured the buyers or the investors or whoever regarding his decision to put Diane in that role. I mean, that's really Jack. This is all Jack's doing.
Jack. And Amaya said Jack should have just stayed CEO and give them low level jobs. So he could have been COO, which still would have put Kyle directly up under Jack, and she should have stayed the CTO.
Right. Or she could have done real estate or been like a stay-at-home wife. That meets her qualification.
No. Well, it looked like nobody had any complaints about her hiring people on. He should have just left her there in that department.
Right.
And Jenna is having a field day in the comment section.
Jenna.
Oh my God. Jenna is loving every minute of this. I was watching all of this when he brought up his childhood and went in. I said, boy, I can imagine Jenna right now.
Right. And the thing is, he didn't tell a lie.
Nope.
He just used his opportunity because he was hurt for being fired to really stick it to his mom. And I would be, if I was Summer, I'd be like, well, where was this when I brought this to you and I didn't trust her even being around you after what she did? All of a sudden, now that things have affected him, now he wants to get into how you left me, you did this to me. And I'm like,
yeah, he was spiraling. You know how when something trigger a person, they start attaching other things to it in a part of their life and they start to spiral? That's exactly what he was doing. He was attaching all of that stuff to whatever's happening right now. But the problem, the whole catalyst in this situation is Jack Abbott. He's a terrible leader.
Horrible leader. And he was still trying to get up underneath Nikki. Still.
Girl, and Nikki was sitting up there. I haven't picked a sponsor yet. I'm like, really? You hoping Jack would pick you up again and be your sponsor?
Actually, before that, she was like, I haven't heard from you in a while. You haven't called your friend. Like, come on, woman. Come on.
Hey, Bree, what do you think about Kyle moving out?
It was about damn time. At least he's making more effort than Hope.
And Liam.
Way more effort. And Liam. Liam's still living over at his daddy's house for over a year now.
Exactly. You know, now there's another part of this that I don't have a picture on the screen where Summer's wanting to look at that custody agreement again. I didn't even know they had one. Do they have one?
Apparently they do. I'm glad that they do. I thought they just had like a verbal agreement unless she's legally his mother now. If that's the case, and to be honest, they both really, for one, they both don't even have a place to stay. If he's moving out, where is he going to go? The GCAC where she's at?
Oh no! Listen. I can't wait to see this when they make that announcement that he the co-CEO of Glissade.
Yeah, it's all going to really fall on this boy's face, and rightfully so. I feel it's well deserved, to be quite honest. He picks and chooses like when to attack his mom and his dad when he doesn't get his way. And this is what happens when Jack and Diane keep forgiving him for him betraying his family. And at least in this case, yeah, he was fired, but he already received that offer from Victor prior to him being fired. And he took the bait. And if anything, he's kind of like old school Jack.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of traits of old school Jack, and I think Jack recognizes it too.
I feel sorry for Harrison because he just got out of the kidnapping situation. Now he's moving away from the grandparents. Then there's a custody battle that's about to go on with him and Summer. I'm like, this poor boy.
He can't catch a break. He can't just be a little boy.
And wait a minute. If he's not living there with Harrison, that means that Claire is going to be coming over to his house?
Mm-hmm. And she dressed like a grown woman this week, y'all.
Yeah, she looked very nice. I like the fact that she told her mom, look, it ain't nothing to be concerned with. Bye.
Yeah. I was like, oh, she's all grown up in a matter of 2 weeks. Look at this. She's showing a little leg, little thigh meat, little everything, and drinking a couple of sips of champagne. This was a whole woman. This is night and day. So they listen to the podcast, y'all.
Listen, it was so, because if you think about it, that girl is almost 30 years old. And so, she was born in 98, so that put her at 26. And so for her to, for Victoria is like, I don't think you should go out. She was acting like she was talking to a 16-year-old. And she was like, it ain't nothing for you to be concerned about. I'm good. Bye. I was like, okay, Claire. She said, I'm grown.
Claire is very slowly winning me over with how she's been handling herself, because she knows a lot of people don't trust her still. Mm-hmm. And she's just kind of going to work, taking care of Harrison, staying out of people's business, and except for her parents. Yep. But she's really utilizing this redemption. And I wish Sheila could take notes.
Oh, Lord. Sheila Carter. No, Sheila Sharp.
Oh, that's right. Sheila Sharp. My apologies.
Okay, so I'm trying to think, was there anything? Yeah, so we could pretty much cover the whole thing with Kyle, but it's going to be ugly tomorrow. Oh, my goodness.
And you know what? I'm here for the drama. It's actually been really great episodes.
Both shows. Out of all of the sweeps months, July has been pretty darn hot.
Yes. For both. I look forward to them both, which is, I haven't been able to say that in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think they're trying to chem test Billy and Sally, though.
Which I kind of see a little bit.
Wait till tomorrow. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, and of course, Adam and Chelsea sleep together tomorrow. I don't know. I didn't like the scene. You know me, I be looking for the heat in the scenes, and it looked kind of mechanical to me. So,
Tommy said, "Do I feel bad for Jack?" Nope, not at all.
Nope.
He gets exactly what's coming to him. Whatever Victor has for him, he gets what's coming to him for leaving his family. The fact that he left his sister hanging, his wife hanging, his son hanging, and wants to show up at the last minute. Nope. He gets exactly what's about to come to Victor, coming from Victor for that matter.
Hey, Jenna, there's going to be a lot more going on than that kiss tomorrow.
Yeah. More than I thought.
They need to, in the background, when they get started, they need to play some Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. So.
Oh, it's slow motion?
Girl, to me, I don't know. They just seem so awkward. I think back then, when Chelsea and Adam was together, it was a lot more natural and relaxed. I don't know. They haven't been together in a while. We haven't really seen Adam in a feisty scene. He ain't putting that heat like he used to do about 4 or 5 years ago. So, I don't know. I'm like...
Maybe your editing will save it. So, whatever you can do to make it...
Okay, I will try that. I'll try to cut the clip and do some editing and post it on Instagram and TikTok. I'm gonna have to kind of make it a little bit more lively. All right, let's keep it moving because we got to talk about Lily and Billy. Billy was mad because he think he got played, which he did.
Well, well deserved. I don't feel bad for this man. He was trying to finesse Lily with his mother's health condition, who he never saw, who never wanted to make the effort to fly out.
Mm-hmm.
But was so focused on changing the name. And even his mother called him out like, I don't even want this, but you want it for yourself.
Exactly. And she was outvoted. Yep.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Chance is thinking that something's up with him too.
And what's going to end up happening, he's going to bring Chancellor Winters down, not Chancellor Winters, but Abbott Chancellor down to the ground, because he's never, for one, showed any leadership. He has the same qualifications as Diane when it comes to leadership. Yeah. Only difference is she stayed in her position for longer than 2 months.
Yeah, Medora said Billy is on a power trip. Anytime you lie to people around, because his mom said, do not, even though she should have, but she said, do not tell anybody about my illness. Nobody. He went and told Lily. He told Devon at the 11th hour of the voting about it.
Right.
And of course Devon called him out like, I feel bad for your mom and all, but the timing of me finding this out is a little suspect.
Yep. And it played out beautifully that everyone gets to see how Billy is. And keep in mind, also Abby was on screen, and he sees that she's distraught and didn't even bother to say like, hi, how's everything going? How's my sister? He's been on a full-on power trip. And I'm like, how long is this going to last?
Exactly.
Billy doesn't last.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to say Lily said, Delmonica said Lily was the smooth criminal in that deal.
Yeah, she was. And I was so happy that everything played out the way it should, because I'm like, Billy, what are you going to do? I mean, you lost a person who knew the ins and outs of Chancellor. Mm-hmm. Unless she changes her mind. But as much as I love Chance, and Jenna, I know that is your man. I looked at him. He looked good, but I know that's your man. But he is not qualified to be COO or CEO or anything. He was a whole cop. Mm-hmm. So he's putting people who's not experienced. He's not experienced. So he's going to drag it down. And I think that's what Jill's fear was to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you are right about that. With Lily gone, and I don't know. Do you think she's going to leave? Because she could have ended it right there. When she was like, oh, I think I might want to leave the company and blah, blah, blah. And then she turned around and said, I want to think about it.
It would be a great storyline for Lily if she chooses to walk away from both companies.
But then what would she do?
I could see she could probably work for Newman Media. Like, I would like to see her pull away from her family, especially since she doesn't even trust her brother. And she doesn't trust Billy. So it's not going to look good on either which way if she works for either company. It's going to be nothing but contention. If she breaks away and walks away and finds a role that's more her speed, something in fashion or beauty, she could work at Glissade. Like, what? I didn't even think of that. What if Jack doubles back and says, Kyle, I'll fire Diane if you come back? And the whole deal with Audra was she needed Kyle on board, otherwise she loses her job. What if she loses the job and Victor offers Lily that position to be CEO of Glissade? It would be in her alley.
Yeah, that's very nice. I'm wondering if Josh Griffith will write it that way. I mean, that's a whole. You didn't wrote a whole script in a different direction, which is
Well, we
creative.
try to throw suggestions, and we just hope they take it.
I know. Only thing is, I'm hoping that they, kind of calm the Winters contention down if they're gonna just separate them and have them work together. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Devon is always so uptight.
Yes, he is. The
So,
only time I liked him was this Monday's episode because the fact that he called out Billy, I'm like, okay, I
well,
remember
here's
why
the
I
other
liked you before.
question, Bree, is if Devon is going to be the CEO of the Winter side after the demerger, what's Lily's position? CEO? He's going to be working for, she's going to be working for him? What's her position being over at Winters?
Hmm. That's a great question. I mean, she would be probably COO or co-CEO or something, because I can't really see Devon handling or want to handle the day-to-day for Winters. Unless I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She needs to walk away from both. She doesn't trust either man, and they're going to put her underneath one or the other. So either she works underneath Devon or she works underneath Billy, because he's not going to let her run things over there while he's on a power trip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then what, like Jenna said, what about Nate? Now, what is he going to be doing over there?
What he's been doing, which we don't know. we know that he collects a check and he wears his suits very nice. And we'll never know what he does over there. Same with Chance. Like, what does Chance do?
Yeah, well, we did hear Billy offer him a COO position.
Once again, something he's not qualified for. As fine as he is, he's not qualified for anything but being a model and to run a police department. That's about it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm wondering where they're going to go with this. It's so many moving parts going on over at The Young and the Restless. And that's the thing about having so many characters, which is opposite of Bold. You only got a core group. But at Young and the Restless, there's multiple storylines going on, So, because right now, we got the whole thing with Chelsea and Adam. And then we got the whole thing with Kyle, the Abbotts, Jack and Diane. We got Victor trying to do all this stuff with Nikki and Newman Media and Glissade. We still got some folks in Paris. And yeah, this whole thing with them. So, it'll be interesting to see what direction they take after the demerger. And I think Jenna asked the question, what happens to Daniel's game? Daniel's game will go under Winters. Yeah, I think they said that on Monday, I think it was.
They said it a couple of times. I think Billy also said that too when Chance asked.
Right. Yep. So, yeah, y'all got to stay tuned for tomorrow. The Chatham scene happens. What happens in Baltimore must stay in Baltimore.
If she don't end up pregnant.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Will she end up pregnant? Are they Kim testing Billy and Sally? Because that show what it looked like. Tomorrow.
It seems like they're trying to put Lily back with Billy, though.
Girl, after tomorrow's episode, he was talking about how lucky and a wonderful person this Sally is, and Adam is lucky to have her. I'm like, oh, we heard that before. Sound like a hope. What is that? A Finn statement or a hope statement? That's a Finn statement.
That's a Finn statement to gratify hope. That sounds exactly that.
Well, wait a minute. We can say that about Hope, too, because she was talking about how wonderful Steffi's husband is and how Steffi don't appreciate him.
Oh, that is right. She said it a couple times and to her face.
Yep. Sure did. So we know what that means. When you start talking about that, I'm like, oh, here we go, Billy. You crushing on Sally all of a sudden? And they've never been together. So I'm wondering how they're going to try to explore that. She gets out of the whole Newman realm.
Yeah, she gets out of that, and I mean, this would be new and fresh. I mean, it's the only other woman he hasn't been with besides Audra.
That is true. I wonder what Billy and Audra, what type of heat they would put together. I don't know.
I can't see them together.
Yeah. So, yeah, stay tuned for tomorrow because you think you saw some craziness at the Abbott house yesterday and today. It gets worse tomorrow. And, yeah. I just, my thing is figure out a way to work together. To me, I don't think by letting they can't stop him. But with this whole thing, he's giving them the option. Let me stay there and work at Jabot. And he didn't even say fire. He said even give her a demotion, which means to either put her down as CTO or COO and let him work the job that Diane has. And she felt some kind of way about Jack thinking about it, and Jack was like, no. So Kyle is out.
Wow. Jenna, who's playing vanilla? Who are you referring
to? Yeah, I don't know, girl. Who you talking about? But yeah, I don't know. If it was me, I know I can't do the job. I don't even know why. If the clients are saying we don't want to deal with you, we want to deal with Jack or Kyle. I can't get mad at the clients. Y'all bringing us the money. That's how we paying our bills. And paying our employees' bills because of the money that you're giving us. So, I'd be like, look, we got to figure out a way for, to keep these clients happy. And maybe we're going to have to do, as we call it at my company, a reorg. We're going to have to reorganize. So, I don't...
It's Jack who's insistent on it, though. Even when she tries to quit.
I know. That's the thing. And then, okay, so here's the back and forth. And you will see this a little bit tomorrow. Kyle says, I'll stay if you demote or fire Diane. He thinks about it. Diane gets offended. Jack turned around and said no. Kyle gets mad and leaves. Then Diane says, hey, if you need me to quit, I'll quit. Jack turned around and said no again. I'm like, look, Diane, you had the opportunity to let him do it 10 minutes ago. And then you got offended. And now that Kyle and stormed out, now you say, I'll quit, I'll resign. And then Jack said, no, I'm not going to let you do that. Y'all crazy. So whatever torpedo that Victor throws at the Abbott estate and at the Jabot, it's on y'all. Because y'all could have figured this out.
Easily. Gail Lewis had a quick question. She said, Billy, Sally, Claire, Kyle, and Adam, Chelsea. Which one is the hottest couple? Hottest is a strong word.
You know what? I think because Thomas and I should say Annika and J-Matt has raised the bar so high last year, it's hard to try to see who can beat that right now.
Right. It's definitely not Kyle and Claire. Definitely not them. I would say Billy and Sally because that's unexpected.
Yeah, I would like to see maybe that. Adam and Chelsea tomorrow is just too mechanical to me. They tried to be up against the wall, and I don't know, it was weird. Like I said, maybe I have to do my own editing to it, but I'm like...
Yeah, because they play elevator music with their love scenes online.
And I gotta say, before we switch over to Bo, all of this mess is going on, besides the lack of Jack's leadership, is the insecurities of Victor Newman.
Still to this day.
He's pissed off that Jack was the one that saved his wife and not him. And
I
it's,
mean,
go ahead.
did he really save her though?
But I'm just saying it put the situation in a position where it scared her straight, per se. You
Oh
know, like
no.
they say, it freaked, he almost unalived himself, which was stupid. But he almost unalived himself. It scared her straight and sent her butt to rehab. And nobody could get her to go, not even her own husband. So now he feeling some kind of way about that. Like, oh, he can get you to go, but I can't get you to go. Well, you were too busy getting your rocks off down in the basement with Jordan and the
Right.
Brussels sprouts.
And the smells. With the chair pointed right in the like he picks and chooses what he wants to be mad at, and he refuses to let his wife have it because it all falls on her pretty much, and her wanting to have Jack in her life.
Man, he was busy doing so many other things, putting schemes together and doing this whole thing with Jordan, and his wife was drinking, having sneaking bottles up under couches and stuff in your own house, dude. That you got to take the L on that.
Yeah. It's I don't feel bad for Victor. I'm like, if he has an issue with his wife, he needs to go to his wife. He need to fire Michael. He need to fire all these people and organize attack on Jack. Like, what is that going to do besides put Nikki towards Jack's direction? That
Jenna
is so
said,
stupid.
I know. Jenna said, remember, Nikki didn't want Victor to see how weak she is. Nikki is also very manipulative.
Yes, she is.
She manipulated both sides of this. The moment that she says, it'll help my sobriety, then the men just back off.
Yeah. And just stays quiet, and he has like a private investigator follow her. Like, it's, I don't know. And this is the couple that celebrated 40 years and they can't communicate.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So.
Oh, well.
All right, let's switch over to Bold. So the first thing we got is we lost Tom this week.
I'm so mad at that. And look at this wig.
Well, I changed it because I jumped ahead. Poppy can't be crying yet until we talk about him drinking the energy drink.
Okay. So, the fact that they let this be a drug overdose was, as J Money was said, that's wild. But the suspects, or like the people that they brought on Lee, and we got to see Jack, yay! And my Justin, I missed him so much. But all these random people, a part of this event, and everyone just stuck out so awkwardly that this didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how many people in the chat, Bree?
Almost 100 people.
Okay, so you guys, let's get them fingers working. All right? I want to see, who you think was the one that poisoned Tom. So either say Lee in the chat, so L-I, Sheila, Justin, Jack, or Poppy. So I want to get your fingers ready. I want to see what your thoughts are, and I kind of want to gauge what because there's some people, especially all over the internet, a lot of people are saying it's Lee. Have you seen that?
Yes, and I think some people are just have a disdain for the character because she's very herself. But I cannot see. I personally do not see it being Lee at all. Like, she wouldn't really have much invested in this, and plus she doesn't have a good relationship with Poppy to begin with. Like, why would she do anything for her? And there would need to be a whole big backstory. That did Lee know that Poppy and Tom had a relationship? Was she aware? Did Poppy tell her that Luna was Tom's daughter? Like, there's a lot of questions that would need to be answered before they pin it specifically on Lee.
Well, there's a lot of people in the comment section saying Lee.
Like, wow.
And
why though?
Okay, so some explanations, because some of the bloggers on on different platforms, not here on YouTube, but like that write articles on the internet, they were saying because of the fact that Lee didn't help. Lee claimed that she was there to pick up a pizza and go home, but she ended up sticking around. And then something about the fact that she's the only doctor in the house and this man collapsed and she did absolutely nothing. Why is that?
I was questioning that too, but I mean, the same way we had questions about Finn and why he always stuck around claiming he's picking up a pizza or a salad or something to El Giordano, knowing he has no business being there. But I mean, probably it's a single woman. If she wanted to stay there to interact with Jack, or if she wanted to, take a break from her normal routine, I don't think that counts as her being an unaliver, And plus, when Tom was walking in the middle of the crowd, he passed Jack, Lee, and Justin, and they didn't look like they knew each other or seen each other. So what would be Lee's reasoning for unaliving Tom?
Unless Tom reached out to her, something that they're not showing us. If it is Lee, because he hasn't had any contact with anybody on this show except for Sheila and Deacon.
And Hollis, and Ron Julian said he thinks it's Hollis. I think so too.
So, I mean, I guess we will see. I wonder if Poppy did it but didn't intend to. Who got access to that type of powder? That's the other thing.
Anybody could have got that from off of the black market. I mean, look at Tom. He wasn't a doctor, but he partaked in that, those party favors back in the day.
Whoever it is, it got to be a motive. What would Hollis' motive be? Over a job?
I don't know. And I had a theory that I was talking about in the group chat, and I really feel that this is someone who's going after who helped Sheila. And that's why I was wondering if Sugar had a child, a son or daughter or whoever, or it could be one of Sheila's children. There's just no way for, at least for me, for it to be Justin, Lee, or Jack even. And that's why I was wondering, could Hollis be one of Sugar's kids, and me not realizing he's just been keeping a close tab on Sheila this whole time? I don't know. This is good writing because it creates a lot of guessing and it incorporates a lot of people and people that we missed, like Justin. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. You haven't said who you think it is, though.
Say it again.
You haven't said who you think it is.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to. What did it say? Keep in tune and find out on July 15th. July 15th.
What happens then?
So
they put spoilers out that far ahead?
I thought they were going to make it a whole summer mystery, according to the spoilers. I mean, they're going to clean it up in 2 weeks. Well, I mean, it is bold, so. Bold tend to go through their storylines faster because it's only 18 minutes an episode. So it's possible they might have an answer by the 15th.
Mm-hmm. No. I mean, I'm just sad that he even is off the show. I absolutely love Tom, but here's my thing: how would anybody know about Tom's drink besides the people he was around, which is at the restaurant? Sheila, Deacon, and Hollis. Lee wouldn't know that was that man's cup.
Unless they seen him. Only person that seen him with that or even asked about it over the past couple of weeks was Sheila. But Sheila asked him, hey, what you got in that cup there? And he was saying how this is his drink or whatever. So
he also said that in front of Deacon and Hollis when he was trying to get his guitar and stuff ready. He said that he laid off of the booze and he focused on that blue drink.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I want to know. I can't. I mean, I would say I'll rule out Sheila. It's just too obvious. And if you
Mm-hmm.
look in the pictures, she's giving the man CPR.
She said she was. I'm a nurse. I'm like,
Well, that's
you
better
haven't
than
been a
what
nurse
Lee
in,
did. Lee was a whole doctor and didn't do jack.
as far as we know. As far as we know, I know that she was sitting right there, but Jack was sitting still. Justin was sitting still. Like it just. I don't know. This is just so weird, and I don't like the fact that they want to try to make Lee the bad guy in all of this. I hate that. I do not see her as the one who did it. And plus, who would know about that man's drink? But I really feel it's somebody who is pissed off at the fact that Tom helped Sheila. And I think that otherwise, what would be the purpose of taking that man out? Unless it didn't help carry out the original plan, which is to get rid of Sheila, which is why I think Sugar had an accomplice.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe, hopefully, it'll be an answer in 2 weeks with the lab tech.
Yeah.
We got, speaking of that, we got, now we can talk about Poppy, because that wig and everything was hilarious.
I'm like, he lost all that damn hair. In
Oh my
20
gosh.
years. 20 years made a difference. My goodness gracious.
Yeah, well, she thought he was attractive enough to sleep with at that time.
She was sitting right next to this man playing that song and singing like a stray animal, like just, it was like, oh my God, that was great. I could not take them seriously, but J Money, you were right. I'm gonna say this on air, sir. You were right. They had a love relationship. They had love chemistry. I really was not expecting that at all.
Well, I figured that they slept together because of the fact that he thought that that girl was his kid. So somewhere along the line, you know, they had to sleep together. You know what I'm saying? For him to be that confused, if he, who knows, it might be his kid. That whole statement about it, you will always be a part of inside of me, or something like that. I don't know what. I don't know. That was just so
I think
random.
it really was, but to be honest, I think she was probably pregnant with Luna at that time. Like I think, and the fact that she was in desperation to try to keep that quiet, and everyone keeps, like I keep saying, everyone keeps questioning, like, why didn't you tell Bill early on? Like, why didn't you do that? And now we see that. And the one thing that kind of irks me is Tom said he was writing Poppy and writing to see what happened with her, and if in regards to Luna too, like, and she chose to ignore that. I mean, even that's not a good excuse. Like, if there was any possibility, she should have really looked into it, especially since he wanted to reach out.
Yeah, the thing is that Bolden really screwed this paternity storyline up really badly. I mean, they started with this stuff back in February, and I know we've been talking about it, and then they said, no, he's not the father, there's no way. And then you revisit it and say, no, he's the possibility. Take that box paternity test that Lee did, confirm he was a father. Then you bring Tom on, and he's saying that he's the father. And then we get this flashback with her saying what she said. It's like, okay, can we just do a real test and just say
Yeah.
who this girl belonged to?
Yeah. It's because even Luna is getting heavily invested in Bill being her father, and this man is about to try to take legal action to make sure that she is his daughter. And I don't think that that's fair. And I'm glad Katie called it out to him too. Like, look, there's something about Poppy that you shouldn't trust, and that's true. She's she's very sneaky and conniving, even with her own child, and this is that girl's life.
Okay,
She's playing with
so
this girl's life.
here's where I'm stuck at though, because she wasn't sure. The conversation that they had in Deacon's apartment, she said to him that he would sleep on the bus when she was sleeping with Bill. So, and then they had the test. I don't. She don't. Like I said last week, this girl don't know who that baby's daddy was at the time. Before this test, I don't think she even know who the father was. She wasn't sold on him, Tom, and she wasn't sold on Bill either. I don't think she knew.
She had an opportunity to figure it out, especially if Tom was writing letters to her for years. She knew that man's address and way to get in contact with him. Now, granted, yes, I understand he was a rock star. She didn't want her daughter to be exposed to that. That's one thing. But to at least solidify who her father is, that was what was important to her. And then let her decide if she wants her dad in her life. She should not have made that decision for Luna, and still trying to make that decision for her to this day.
Yeah, but now she's believing the test, though.
She gonna really hold on tight to believe that test. Yeah.
I don't know. Again, that's why Bo didn't do that properly. I don't know what they were doing with this. What the production team or what a writing team should have done is do a blood test. Now, I understand this throws up the confusion by throwing Tom in the mix and all that, because Tom wasn't supposed to be here that long. Clint Howard was only supposed to be here up until the end, that April-ish, going into May, bringing back Sheila. But they kept him on and gave him an extension for this storyline. I'm like, okay, now you're going to you threw Bill back into it, and now you're throwing Clint into it. So at first, she really don't, we was conceived in love and blah, blah, blah. It's just a mess. I just don't like how they did this from early this year up to now. It's just ridiculous to me.
I agree. And I'm like, how would she go about ensuring that he is the father without anybody knowing, unless she gets her sister Lee involved and saying like, hey, Tom's body's at the hospital. Is there any way we can,
Well, that's the other part, which goes back to what you were saying. If they found out that he was the father, by keeping him on even longer than getting rid of him right after the whole confrontation between him and Poppy. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, like you say, they're going to have to go through, if they're going to test him, is to, deal with his body and all that old crazy stuff. I don't know where they was going with this. It's just, I know they wanted the shock value, the whole, we coming up on July sweeps. Maybe let's keep Clint Howard around for July, for the sweeps coming up. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's crazy to me. Okay. But
so is that wig.
Huh?
So is that wig.
Yeah. Girl. Well, at least he played that part, so he actually got an extra stint for this episode. So.
And Aditha Lee, that is correct. Poppy was simply a 304. That is correct.
Oh, man. Okay, and then we got to talk about this situation right here. Paris and Hope. Go ahead.
Okay. Where should we begin? So this whole little interaction.
Well, the first part of that interaction is Thomas up in there talking to her. To Hope.
This man is still in love with this woman.
Of course he is.
The fact that he's touching her face, he's giving her time of day. He is spending way too much time with his quote unquote ex than he is with his fiance. Like, why are you even care? Like, why do you care about how Hope feels about any of this? And still saying that he loves her and that he will always love her, and he leaves that door open for Hope And it's really making Paris look foolish. She even looked foolish when she was talking to Katie about all of this. Like, first of all, that's Hope's auntie. Come on now. She's going to back up her niece. This doesn't look good on for Paris. But this man is still in love with Hope. She knew this coming into it. She knew this. This man was not going to just drop Hope like a bad habit. He's been getting up underneath her every chance he gets. And it looked like they were about to kiss too.
I'm glad he faked her out. He came in close. You gotta stop this. It's over. Oh, that was great.
He wants this woman to grovel to show that she really loves him. That's what he wants her to do.
But she's already saying it, and he's still not budging. It'll be one thing if she was like standing her ground and she's trying to play hard. She is opening up saying, I still want you and I want to be with you and I love you. Remember our passion and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So she opened the door, but the thing is, she's not opening the door to marriage, which is what he wants.
And the thing is, he keeps saying that. He's not even really remotely answering if he's in love with Paris. He's saying, well, you didn't want this, you didn't want that. So if she says, and this is my question to Thomas, like, if Hope were to say that she wants marriage and kids, you would drop Paris?
I would make her prove it. Because, I mean, just for her to switch so fast, it would be suspect to me. And I would hope Thomas would be like, well, wait a minute. How did you switch so fast? You were just saying that you're not ready for marriage, and you trying to tell me I'm not ready for marriage. It's too soon to be marrying Paris. Now you want to get married? I would hope he look at that as suspect. Like, why are you saying this, just to break us up? Because that's a switch.
And I think he should question it, but would he? No, because he's going to get those magic words that he's been wanting to hear. And plus, he'll be able to give Douglas a sibling. He'll be able to keep the family within the family. That's all he wants to hear from Hope. He wants her to grovel, same way he felt that he was groveling for her, and beg to be with him. I think that's his whole end game in all of this. Not intentionally, but he keeps saying he's trying to get over Hope, which means he's not over her. And he's using Paris as a way to do that. And Paris is aware of that too.
Jenna says he told Ridge that he loves Paris. Yeah, he did. Was that last Friday?
I think so.
Yeah, it was one of the episodes from last week.
I think he said he'd love her for that. I don't think he said that he loved her. I think
he said he loves her. Yeah, he didn't say I love her for that. What was that? Hey, Vicky, you're right. It's only 39 likes. Y'all got to get the like count up in here, you guys. If it's over 100 people in this chat.
Over 130.
Yeah, y'all need to hit the like button. Okay, Vicky says 42 in there now. There you go, girl. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
So we then get to the part of this conversation after Thomas leaves where we saw Paris eavesdropping and she confront Hope. Now, I don't know why she brought up the hope for the future thing and we were friends and all of that. I mean, I thought that part was kind of random because it doesn't really mean anything. But she said, you were out of line, ma'am.
Yeah. And I thought it was cute. She said, don't you come near my fiance. You disrespected me. You disrespect our relationship. Like, I couldn't take this seriously. I mean, she tried. What she needed to do was when she heard that conversation with Hope and Thomas, she needed to walk in and walk up to her fiance, say, Hope, you may not take this seriously, but I'm wearing his ugly ass ring for a reason. And we're together. You said you did not want to be with him. This is my fiance. You need to show respect. And Thomas needed to co-sign with that. Because unlike Steffy, he was really trying to get an apology. That was a whole funny thing. But if he's fully moved on, he would co-sign with his fiance and then nip it in the bud and be done with it. She made herself look very weak by, for one, running away to make sure Thomas didn't see her, and then go and confront Hope. Like, no, if you're the fiance, and on top of that, she said that they are completely open and honest with each other. There's no secrets, and she's aware of his feelings. Okay. She needed to show it.
This is something that Danny would do. Or, what's her name? Fatima.
Oh, yeah.
That's something Fatima would do.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a Fatima move, not a CBS daytime move.
But she could have tailored it into a same way Brooke has always done for years. It's like standing, and she's not going to just sit outside and wait and then run and hide and then confront her. No, she's going to walk in with that horrible looking ring and say, like, look, this is my fiance. He's committed to me. What part of that do you not understand? And what, more importantly, what are you crying for? That's what she needed to do versus whatever she gave Hope in that conversation. That made her look silly.
I wish that the writers would have gave her a different confrontation statement. The thing is that even though Hope was, she get that weird look in her eye, I hate that they wrote it the way that they did and had her, like you say, run behind there. It's like, bust in that door, make the door fling back, like, what the French toast do you think you're doing? Or whatever. Something like that. It's almost like we used to get scenes like that in the soaps, right? Where somebody come in mad and fling the door open and trash the desk and like get in your face. That's the type of stuff that we used to have. I mean, between lightening up the sex scenes and also some of the stuff we see, the mud fights and the chocolate fountain fights, we haven't seen that in a while.
10 years.
The cake fights and all that type of stuff. Who knows? Maybe we get a cake fight this weekend. I don't know. But I don't know. It was watered down. I was expecting a little bit more energy, and the writers just pretty much, that whole, we used to work for Hope for the Future together. We were friends. I'm like,
no, you were an employee underneath Hope. That was it.
Yeah, so I don't know. It just sucked when a lot of expectations of how you think it should be written versus how they did it, and it's like, wah, 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 wah. Yeah.
I mean, I give her a little kudos. It's like I said in the chat, like she stood up to the prom queen. That's what that was equivalent to. A woman move would have walked in and stood next to her fiance and confront this woman who really feels that she wants to get one over on me. No, I have this ugly, disgusting looking ring that this man chose to give me and says he wants me to be his wife. What part of that do you not understand? Like, that's what that confrontation needed, not her running off and then confronting Hope, because it only disproves most people right that he's not really fully into her, and she knows that.
I just think, can you love two people at the same time? Absolutely. I think that there is some, he loves those two women in different ways. He loves Hope to have sex with her. Just like Hope don't care nothing about trying to build a future. They didn't even go on dates. What she brought up is, remember our connection and remember our passion. That is all lust. That's not love, Hope. I will say maybe any resemblance of love could have been how she was maybe with Liam, even though Liam was back and forth. But I think she loved Liam. I really do.
Absolutely.
Do I think she loves Thomas? No, I think she loves the attention. I think she loves the commitment he could give. And I think she loved the sex that he could give, but she don't want to reciprocate 2 of the 3 back. Only 2 of the 3 back, which is the sex for 1 of the 3. Because she don't want the commitment. She like hearing him say, I'm only here for you. But she don't want to do the whole thing and say, okay, let's go down and make it official. So, what do you do with that?
You hand her a mirror, because that's the commitment that she truly deserves. She'll be able to gratify herself. She'll be able to tell her how amazing she is. That's the real relationship she probably wants.
Here's the other thing, because I noticed somebody was saying something. Thomas ought to be making Paris' wedding gown instead of wasting time talking to Hope. I agree, but I wish they would move the storyline further along, which we will get a new episode tomorrow. Thank goodness. This is the first year, because we got an episode on Memorial Day too. So we getting a new episode tomorrow. They're going to be at the Forrester estate with the pictures. The spoiler photos are already out. We need to see more intimate scenes. I'm tired of the interaction between Paris and Ridge, Paris and Katie, Paris and Hope, Thomas and Ridge, Thomas and Steffy, Thomas and Hope. I need to see him and his fiance spend some time together. We need
agree. That. Otherwise, I can't really get on board. I would love to see what a love scene would look like with those two, or when they're privately together and they're bonding and laughing, and like, it's just a lot of defending this engagement. They haven't won me over as a couple, if that makes sense.
Right. My question is, how far along are we in? Are we within the same day? Are we on day 2 after everything happened? That's the other thing too. I mean, for us, it's been a week now. But are they within 2 days of this going on? Is that why it's dragging out for so long? You know what I mean?
Right. So I think so. I think it's all happened within the same week. And I would love to see the interaction with the Thomas, Paris, and Douglas as a family. Like, we're missing that, and that's why it's hard for me as a viewer personally to get invested. And more importantly, he's been investing a lot of time into Hope since he's been back.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that he's trying to, because he haven't been in contact, and that's part of Hope's fault as well, because she should have been up in Paris with him. And, but she was running around behind Finn. The thing is that at this point, I guess he got to clear the hair. Like, listen, I know this is a shock for you. I'm engaged. Nobody knew but Steffi. Well, she knew about the dating. So I could see him giving her clarity, but enough is enough, writers. Let's move on. And hopefully we'll get more of that tomorrow.
We shall see. I'm curious to see who's going to get this party.
Yes. I'm curious too. Yep. I totally agree.
Yes.
So, all right, you guys. It is 7:45 my time. We usually try to keep these about an hour or so. We got to watch Sisters because we got another review later tonight. So
yes,
we had a good time. Our first recap last Wednesday, and we had a pretty decent turnout too. So I appreciate the ones that did come over to be able to watch and participate. So we will end it here, take a break, and then we got to go watch our show. So make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you very much, and we will see you in the next video. All right, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.